Hey guys. Okay, so you see all that crap on my bed, try to ignore it. Okay, you see all that in the background, just try to ignore it. Focus like right here. So as you can see, you know, we got like some kind of weird half style going on. All right, I still have my braids in from my last video. If you haven't watched me do these amazing large knotless braids, you should definitely go do that, because now I'm deconstructing it to make some you see me. I was going for boho at first, boho knotless, and then I just kind of wanted like some distressed dreads, so faux locks, if you will. Period. So you see the back. I started to separate my parts. So for the knotless braids, I had squares. All I did for these is just divide them in half to make some semi kind of triangle type things. I'm not sure how good the parts are back there, so I really hope that was a good example for y'all. But I'm just going to show you guys how I did this. It's my first time doing it, so I struggled a lot. Like, I literally had to do the whole back before I came on so that I knew what I was talking about when I told y'all. So we're going to jump right in. I'm only doing it section by section, so I'm gonna do these three and then these three and then the top four. So my first step, I would honestly suggest to just go ahead, like if your hair is already out, go ahead and part out your entire head, because this is a doozy. I feel that it's easier to do the parts and then go back through and wrap after, because then you don't have to worry about if your parts are straight before you start to, you know, all that stuff. You could just go ahead and get that out the way, and then the wrapping takes no time. So since I had it in these, you could see like the dirt there. So or it wasn't even dirt, I just put edge control instead of like eco styler for this look. So what I do is I just put a little bit of oil on my scalp, and this is just if you're going from one look up to the next, but I still do this. Put the oil in there, and then since this is a lock style and I'm gonna keep this in right now, it's the beginning of January. My birthday is February 11th, so I'm gonna try and keep them in until then. Guys, if you're a loyal hair fan of this channel, then you've seen this in a couple of my other natural styles. So I'll just take enough so that my hair is saturated in it. I want this to be almost overly moisturized since it's gonna be pretty much locked up. I do have thick hair, but like when I braid it individually, it gets really thin. So what I do is just take some old, this is like, you see how this is. This is just old braiding hair that I cut, never got to finish. So I take the hair that's more natural to mine, and then I just take about as much as I think my braid is gonna be. So the width, and then I just separate that out. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the styling gel, just put it on top of here. Now, when I get like a little bit past where I think my hair is, I cut it off. And I always give myself that little bit of leeway, because I always imagine my hair longer than it is, not shorter, because I don't want to cut it off. So now I'm just going to repeat that to these two, and then I'll be back to show y'all how I wrap. All right, y'all, so now that I've got my nice lovely braids here, I'm gonna redo some of these. Actually, maybe not, because whatever, Now, being a new braider, I like this better for beginner friendly because I don't have to like think too much about my strands. I can just take it and go, as opposed to the other one I have to like manage myself more. So that's why, you know, things like this, pre-stretched hair, it just helps new braiders or like braiders that are just trying to do it for themselves, get it quick and go. Free tress, baby. Now Lulu tress, if you got time and experience. Oh child, yeah. Okay, so as you can see here, I had everything pretty much braided out. This is what the back looks like so far. Oh, phone fell. Stiff there. Let me just do the top of this and then I'll BRB. Whew. Child. King born. RIP, respectfully. Gosh. Alright, so now I only have these two left. So this is how this one comes, which is a little bit more fluffed out and prepared, and this one is very, very tight. Y'all, I have been like up since 4 a.m. at this. 4 a.m. Okay, so I'm gonna do a walkthrough step by step. Whew. This is with my free tress hair, right? Right. So you're only gonna need 2 of these, right? So sometimes I go like this, like they'll tell you you could pull it, but I honestly see no difference because I'm still gonna have to separate them. So this is me. You separate, and then you just go to the ends and pull apart. You probably saw me doing this in fast motion, and I showed you a little bit earlier, but this is real in detail for my beginners. This is a beginner telling a beginner how I got this look, okay? So, it's gonna, and then I'll put this across my lap, and then I'll take this one. Now, I'm not gonna do the little spring thing. I'm gonna do the same thing. It probably gets like pretty much the same result. If you see anything snagging, it's literally because I need a fill in. Like, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I just need a fill-in. It's been really, that's probably why it's been taking me so long, because it's been getting snagged on literally everything. So now that you've got your 2 pieces, I really don't even separate them all the way. I don't even care that much. You just want them to be nice and fluffy, right? So I just go to the blonde tip of this. You can gauge it however you want to. I think that's like about 1/4, 1/3, whatever, of your hair. And then I twist it around like this, just so that, because this tool is so tiny, and like the amount of hair, if it's too thick, like all of it won't come through. So to make it all come through in one swift motion, I just twist it around a little bit and then put it on my fingers like this. Right, so I'm gonna take my tool, go not in the braid, but in between the base and my scalp, right? So your tool should be closed when you do this, and then by the time you pull it through, it should open. You just latch it in there, and then by the time you slide it back through, it'll usually automatically close by itself. Sometimes it won't, and you'll have to do it. But sometimes you just gotta play with the thing. That's one of like my least favorite tools, but it's used for like everything dang near in hair. So you win some, you lose some, right? So pretty much approximate that same 1/4 piece that you put in between, because, well, depending on how long you want yours. I wanted mine about this long, so it is about the same 1/4 piece, but you just gauge it whether you want it mid-back, longer, shorter, XYZ, ABC. Your shorter piece should be how long you want your twist to be, right? No matter how long or short that is. So now I grab it with my right hand and I'm twisting with my left hand. So in each way, no matter if it's on this side of my head or this side of my head, I'm always going over, back and over my right hand, never under, okay? I think it just makes it easier, because if you do it under, I mean, like, you gotta, now if you do it over, it'll already be there. You could just pull through. So I do it about 3 times at the base, not too tight, because I like when the messy look stays messy. So 2, and then it might also get snagged around your other hair, that's fine. 3 times around the base. So you see it's not too tight. So my parts are already pretty neat, but it's not too tight, it's not too loose, it's just where it needs to be. You know, because I don't want tension with my scalp and my hair, but I also don't want these slipping out like tomorrow. So now, after I got those 3 times as close as possible to my root and as tight as I like, I just start going around one singular motion. One loop around each part, one. And then when I get to where I think I might want like a little butterfly, then you're going to pinch your fingers together and you're going to loop the hair around your thumb instead, right? So loop 1. I loop it twice because I don't think 1 loop does enough. So, and loop 2. When I was doing 1 loop, it wasn't like staying as well. And then all you're going to do is just slide your thumb out and continue wrapping as before. Now some of them come out better than others. Usually like my first one on all of these is small, and then my second one is like huge, so that's kind of the thing I've been going with. So you can do as many, like you could do it one after another, you could do another 2, or like however you want it to be, but this is just how I'm doing my pattern because this is how messy neat I want mine, if that makes sense. So after I do my first butterfly, then this is where I double up my dread. So I went around 1 loop, go around 2 loops, next space 1, 2 loops, next space 1, 2 loops, and then right about here before I get into my blonde is usually where I do my second butterfly, because if I do my next butterfly in the blonde, then it'll like, when I dread the blonde at the bottom, it kind of butterflies itself. So if I did a butterfly like right where the blonde starts or like too soon, it's just not gonna go well for me. It just doesn't look neat as I want it to. So I went around 1 time, 2 times, slip my thumb out, and this is what I mean, it's usually bigger. Like you see how this one just looks like a knot, and then this one's like fully formed. So I don't know what the deal is, but you get what you get, right? So then this is where I'm gonna triple up. So this I was wrapping around singular, double, and now I'm gonna triple 1, 2, 3, next space 1, 2, 3. And I do this in part because you want your dread to go from small to large, so the heavy side weighs it down so they're not sticking up like I said earlier. And then also this blonde, you see how if I only do it like a few times, you could see it through, you could see the black through it. So what I'm trying to prevent is that black space showing through. So sometimes I'll even go back around again. So then 1, 2, 3, keep going, 1, 2, 3. Now the bottom of my braid ends right here. I can keep going as long as I want to, or I can just kind of stop it right there. It just depends on how much hair I have, but I think I might go a little bit longer because this side, this braid was shorter than this braid. So I just want to keep going to make it a little bit even. So I'm just going to continue to, if my base is here, so I'm just going to continue to do it along the base until it gets a little bit thicker, like about the same thickness as my space with the braid. So just keep going along until you feel that. And then once it looks about even, that looks about even to me, I take the rest of this hair and start dreading back up, or twisting it around the hair back up. You don't really have to get these little nooks out, but it just depends on your preference, bro. It's how messy you want it, and that's how messy you should leave the hair. So once I get this part to the twist, like basically to the end, I'm just gonna twist around till I can't no more, like how you do the end of your twist out, girl. And then instead of twirling it around like the end of a twist out, you're just gonna go in the same direction that you were twisting in. And my palms are a little bit sweaty. I don't know if that helps or not, but my palms are sweaty. So I just twisted that one direction. I do about like 2-3 times. And then now I'm gonna take it, so my curl at the bottom starts to go this way. Now I just go the direction that the curl starts so that it doesn't look weird, you know, at the bottom. So it just makes a nice little nug right there. And then I just start twisting up with this hair. And this one doesn't have to be like any kind of specific way. You're just trying to round it out. So if you have any black spaces you need to gap or focus in on, do that. If you just want it to look more messy, do it however your dread needs it to be, because none of these ones look the same, I can guarantee you that. And then once you twist it all around like how you did the first time, you're just gonna go in the motion that you last ended so that it seals it in there and it's not going nowhere. So we are on the last dread, y'all. Woo! Thank God, thank God. I'm not touching my hair till February 11th, but so how I was saying earlier, these ones are a little bit more fluffy and they don't butterfly as much as the free tress hair does, but I do like it for the black dreads. I didn't use too much. They're like very sparingly throughout here. I think I probably only have 6 all black ones, but that's just because. So this is if I string it out, right? And this hair is also a bit thicker, like, or so looser in curl pattern, I'll say that, which makes it appear thicker or bigger, as opposed to this that kind of has like a silky finish. This one is already, I'll show you one that I didn't fluff out yet. So this is how this one comes, which is a little bit more fluffed out and prepared, and this one is very, very tight. So that's another difference between the two hair as well. Hair packs, hair companies as well. So yeah, this one's fun, and then we're gonna do this right here, like it right there. Boom, boom. Okay, and then we go, girl, we is almost to the finish line, baby. Oh, I'm so excited. I do like the way that it dreads. Now, if you don't want like bohemian look, but you want more of like a straight kind of look, now this hair, girl, ease if you please. Cool. Sometimes you're gonna have to try a couple times. Sometimes you are. So make your 1/4 space again, right? And then you're gonna start twisting. Right hand is your base, left over, not under. 1, 2, 3 times at your base. And then from then on, you're just gonna wrap around once on the braid, 1 time on the braid, 1 time on the braid. Now, whenever you feel free, go ahead and add your butterfly. We're gonna do this by wrapping the hair around our thumb 2 times, not the braid, the thumb 2 times. We're gonna slide our thumb out of there and continue our braid. Now, I have to hold the black one so that it puffs out like that, because usually it'll just kind of like cave in. So 1, 2 around the braid. After the butterfly, go down, 1, 2 wraps around the braid, down again, 1, 2 wraps around the braid. If that's all you want, or if you want to do another butterfly, again, once over the thumb, 2 times over the thumb, slide that bad boy out of there. Or I just kind of like hold the hair. Okay, so here's a trick that I do. I hold the hair and slide my thumb out, and then that kind of helps create the bubbles. So now after I get down there, I'm gonna wrap it 3 times. 2, oops. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you gotta pull it out after again. It's the world, bro. So now we're just gonna keep wrapping until our end, or until it meets whatever our lovely other dread ends. I just don't like all this hair wrapping around me. Oh my goodness. It's just like I try and ignore it and then it doesn't happen. So this dread appears to end right at my neck, yeah. So funny story, I forgot to record the end because my camera died, but I just wanted to thank you, loves and lovers, for tapping into another hair tutorial. The Lulu tress water wave versus free tress water wave hair to do shoulder length bohemian soft locks, okay? And if you want to see the finished look, make sure you tap into my Instagram at ILoveYagis, where you could see it in multiple different styles, poo. And if you want to see more hair videos, look at my all things hair playlist, and I will see you next week with a new video. Mwah.